friends of the channel. My name is Rob. This is BigRobsVan, and we are heading on a weekend adventure, and we are heading right into some snow. So this should be fun. We're going to have a fun night of camping in the van, not outside in the snow. I've got a few things to show you that I've purchased for the van, some of the things that you guys have recommended, and then I'm going to tell you why I won't be buying anything else for the van in the immediate future. Stay tuned. Let's get started.
BigRobsVan is cruising down the old dirt road with the engine roaring loud. It's where the stories grow. Tales of midnight races.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope your 2025 is starting off great. Mine is still starting off great with this winter beard that I'm growing during the hibernation months. I can't wait for the spring to get rid of this thing, to be honest with you. But so I've changed my plans a little bit. I was planning on driving about 2 hours tonight and then about 2 hours tomorrow to get to my destination, but the roads are worse than I thought they were. They're pretty slippery, and we're about half an hour away from sundown. So I pulled over much earlier than I planned on. I'm really only like 20-25 minutes away from my house. I'm in a little town called Piedmont, Oklahoma. There is a great antique store that I love going to across the street, and I just went over there, and it looks like they may have gone home early because of the inclement weather. So we are in the middle of a winter storm. It is, they said the high today is going to be about 28, and that is a problem because they were hoping it was going to get up a little bit more and melt off some of the snow and ice. So when I made my plans, that's kind of what I was thinking. However, that doesn't appear to be the case. So I just put on new batteries. I put new batteries in my indoor-outdoor thermometer. I'm looking at it right now. It says inside it's about 65 in here, but when I got the GoPro and everything ready to go, it said 68, so it is dropping. And outdoors it says it is 34 degrees. However, I don't think that's accurate because I used to have the thing mounted up underneath my bumper and the Velcro came off, so I moved it to the other side, and it's right by the exhaust, so I think the exhaust might have warmed it up. In fact, you know what, we're all friends here. Yeah, the current says 32 here right now, so that's and you probably can't see that either. It's just a long series of things you can't see. So I did what I do before I leave every trip, which is I have just thrown a bunch of stuff up here in the front. So I'm going to spend the next few minutes trying to get things organized. I have my all powers battery fully charged. I have, remember my old Fakery, the old knockoff brand battery? I brought it just in case. You know what, I'm going to be away from the house for a couple of days. I just looked at my solar. I'm getting in about 5 watts, so I'm not getting any solar in at all. I wouldn't expect to with this weather, but so that way I've got a little backup. I've got, like I said, I mentioned at the top of the show, I've got several things that I've purchased recently that I want to show you. One of the things that I'm going to be showing you very shortly is a security camera system. Now, a lot of you people have said, hey, you know, it drives me crazy, and it drives me crazy too, that when I get into lockdown, when I'm in night mode and I've got the curtains drawn and I've got the back things up, I can't see out of the van. And people have said, hey, have you thought of adding security cameras or something? Well, I purchased something off of Amazon, and we're going to try it out tonight. I don't know if it's going to work, but it'll be fun to play with. So we've got that. I've got a couple other things, and then we're going to talk about why I won't be buying anything else for the van anytime soon. So let's get this little mess around here all straightened up, and then let's have some fun. Okay, so I got everything put up. Let's talk about the good news and let's talk about the bad news. Let's talk about the bad news first. According to my thermometer, it has dropped 3 degrees outside from 35 to 32. That's relatively insignificant. I think this is just actually correcting what the actual temperature is outside. But the bad news is when I first pulled out the GoPro, it was 68 degrees inside the van, and it is currently 52 52 degrees inside the van. So the temperature is dropping rapidly inside the van. That's the bad news. Here's the good news. If you remember, the last time I camped in the cold, I believe that was when I did the courthouse camp. I had ice on the roof of the ceiling. I didn't have these wall insulations. I really just wasn't prepared. I have added several things to the van to make cold camping more comfortable. I've not used most of these, and so tonight I'm going to be trying some of these different things out. So just real quick, of course I have a winter hat that I'm about to switch into. I'm going to put that on. I have some gloves. I have some, these are USB powered heated ski gloves. These will cook your fingers off. I mean, these get super, super hot. I may put these on when I'm sleeping tonight, but we'll see. I may not need those. I also have these, a set of USB hand warmers. They separate like that. They're magnetic. I had one that was a single unit, and you had to kind of hold it like this, and it worked. It was okay, you know, and you just kind of held it like this. But these, you can kind of hold your hands separately or put them in a pocket. So I like these a little bit better, and so I have that charging. What else oh, and for Christmas, my daughter got me something that was on my Christmas list. It is this blanket that is a 12-volt heated blanket. So I have my Fakery 1000 watt-hour battery. I have my easy longer battery that I can run my CPAP off tonight, and I have my All Powers 2000 watt-hour. So I'm going to be gone for a couple of days, but right now, like I said, I'm not getting anything off of solar, so I may have to do some charging on the van while I drive tomorrow. But this is 12 volt. I may even be able to run this. I don't know. I could run it off of any of the batteries, so we'll see that. Finally, I have a 0-degree sleeping bag. I just took it out of its original case. It has never been unrolled. I have never used it before. That's not true. I've never slept inside it before. I've used it because I use it as a pillow. But so tonight I don't anticipate freezing like I did before, although I can tell you that I'm pretty cold right now. So anyway, let's move things around here a little bit and do an unboxing of something that I just bought, and let's try it out and see if it works. I have no idea how this is going to work. I have no idea. It's going to be a surprise to you. It's going to be a surprise to Big Rob. Let's try it out. Okay, guys. So, again, a lot of you have commented because I have these blackout, what do you call them, like window things that my wife and I made. And a lot of times, because I do a lot of urban camping, street camping, in the city camping, I hear people outside the van and I can never see what's going on. It drives me crazy, right? And some of you guys said, hey, have you thought about adding cameras to the van? I looked on Amazon and I found a security system with 4 cameras and a DVR thing and all that, $200. That's not Big Rob's budget for Big Rob's van. That's not going to happen at the moment. But what I did find for significantly less during the holiday season on sale on Amazon was this. I'm trying to see if you can see what it is by the outside of the box. This is a baby crib monitor. Now, does it have drawbacks? Yes, and the biggest drawback is it uses typical 110 power outlets, and it needs one for each camera, and it needs one for the baby monitor system itself. Now, the baby monitor system is rechargeable. It does have a battery, but I would probably have to plug it in anyway. So, what I did earlier today, these are the 2 cameras that it comes with. And what I did was, my buddy Jeff a while back for a different project bought me some of those really strong earth magnets. And so what I did was use some Gorilla Glue, and I glued earth magnets on the bottom of the bases of these cameras. Now, the bottom of the base actually has some metal in it and the magnet stuck to it, but I'm afraid that I might leave it on, you know, the roof of the van when I drive off or something. And let me tell you, these magnets won't let go of the van. I mean, they're there, right? So, so anyway, my plan is to put one of these actually inside the van, right on the other side of my privacy curtain. I think if someone comes in and actually looks through the windshield, you're probably going to see it, but this is a dry run just to see how they function. And I'm going to put the other one on the roof. What I'm going to do is open the back door of the van and I'm going to put it outside right next to the Max Air fan. So I'm hoping it's not too obvious, or if someone sees it, maybe they'll think it's just a backup camera. And then third, we have the baby monitor itself, which has a little I was going to glue a magnet to it as well, but it has a little kickstand on the back here, and so I'm just going to stand that up. So let's get these hooked up real quick. We'll get this going and just see how it works. Okay, so there's a pairing button that I had to hit on the cameras to get them to pair, but now I can hit this. They don't seem to be the fastest updating cameras in the world, but if we go here and I go to view camera 1, it should be me from this view over here. That's me. And then if we go to view, I wish there's got to be like a shortcut to do this, but we go to view camera 2, and we switch to that camera. So now all we've got to do is put this camera outside. Again, I'm gonna try to hide it up here next to the Max Air fan. Point it kind of out and down. Shut that. And then let's take a look and see what we get. Oh! Now we can see the parking lot. Not the world's best view, but it's better than nothing. Let's set up the other one real quick. All right, nothing going on out there. Probably would have made sense to run that cable. You know what we can do? Because it doesn't really, I don't know. We'll run it like that for now. Like I said, this is kind of a dry run. And if this works, then we'll do a little bit more of a permanent hookup. Let's see what camera 1 looks like out the front. There we go. All right. You know, I did notice that this says supports up to 4 cameras. It only came with 2, but you know, I could add 2 more to point left and right. I don't know. This thing's got possibilities. It's not the super fastest updating thing in the world, but it's not bad. Well, it seems like when I get camera 1 hooked up, camera 2 turns off. When I get camera 2 hooked up, camera 1 turns off. They lock up. And now the system is completely locked up. I can't, nothing I hit does anything. And because I charged the battery, it won't, I can't even turn it off. So verdict's still out on this one. I'm going to do a little bit playing around with this. It's almost time to cook some dinner. So I'm going to quit playing with this. We're going to cook some dinner, and then we're going to talk about some changes in my life for 2025. So as I just said, I'm getting ready to cook some soup, but what I can tell is that the temperature is dropping. I just looked at the thermostat and we are now down to 30 degrees outside, but more importantly, 45 degrees inside, it's starting to get cold. So one of my plans for tonight, and this is more of an experiment, is to plug in this electric heater and use it sparingly. I want to run it for like 5 minutes and see if that makes a difference. So there's no way to rob the devil, right? Like, it takes a lot of electricity to generate. So you know, if this uses 1,000 watt hours on high and this battery is a 1,000 watt hour battery, it'll kill my battery in an hour. That's no good, right? But what I'm wanting to see is if I run it for 5 minutes, will that be enough to heat anything back up? Because my feet are starting to feel a little chilly. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hook this up for 5 minutes. We're going to look and see what the wattage is and see if it makes a difference, or if that's not a viable plan. I have the next plans. I mean, obviously, I can put my feet in the sleeping bag. I can get out the 12-volt blanket and drape it over me, or the Mr. Buddy heater. But like I said, I'm going to be here for probably 12 more hours, and the Mr. Buddy heater, I don't want to run it for 12 hours. You know what I mean? So it's more of a last resort kind of thing. So we're going to try this experiment first. Okay, peeps, here's what's going on. I was going to go into this restaurant, but it looks like they're closing early too, due to the weather. So I'm going to run over to Sonic and get a hot burger, and more importantly, let the van heat back up for a few minutes before we go to the rest of the night. Beard's not keeping everything warm. I thought it was going to help me hibernate, but it ain't working. So let's go over to Sonic, and we'll be right back.
In the midnight glow where the stars align, we lose ourselves in the rhythm divine. Underneath the sky painted with dreams, we're chasing the echoes of silent screams. Caught in the spell of the cosmic night, where fantasies bloom in the pale moonlight. We'll let go of all that we know and dance in the stardust's gentle flow. Dancing in the stardust, we're weightless and free in a world of wonders. Just you and me, lost in the moment. Our spirits ignite as we twirl in the magic of the cosmic light. Among constellations, we'll find our way. Through the celestial symphony, we'll sway. With every step, we leave our cares behind. In this celestial ballroom, love's defined. Caught in the spell of the cosmic night, where fantasies bloom in the pale moonlight.
All right, so we're back over in our little spot. You know, I was going to drive around and find a little different spot, but this parking lot is gigantic, and there's literally nobody here. Now, I mean, you could argue that makes me a sitting duck, but also it just looks like this is a big, giant, public parking lot with nobody out here. I'm right up against the back of the restaurant. I mean, not right against it, but I'm close enough to it, so I just don't think anybody will think twice about it. And if they do, then I'll get my first knock. But I really don't think I will. I just don't think anybody cares. I don't think anybody, especially on a night when it's so cold and stuff outside. It is 31 degrees outside now and 46 in here. So just to recap, you know, in a small town like this, when the weather's bad, people close up and go home early. Can't blame them. So the Chinese restaurant is closed. Sonic is closed. So I went down to Casey's. I went to the restroom. I got myself a coffee. I let the heater run up front and warm things up for just a few minutes, and everything's great. The baby monitor is working. Both cameras are working, but I got to tell you, the quality on it is so terrible that it's. I'm probably going to send it back. I'm probably going to return it to Amazon. It's like the refresh rate is every, like maybe twice a second or something. The snow that's coming down is like blurs. When it looks like blurs on the screen. I'm looking at it right now. I've heard some cars go by and I look at the monitor and it's just like like you couldn't even identify if it's a car or a truck or what. You just kind of see this blob and some tail lights. So I mean, I guess it would work okay if your baby doesn't move a lot. Babies are slower than trucks, so there's some logic for it. So maybe it works better for a baby monitor, but as far as a car camera system, it just doesn't seem to be the quality that I need to be able to see people. Now, the one cool thing is that those cameras do have speakers and microphones on them, so in theory, I could talk to somebody out there and I could hear things that are going on outside the van, but it just doesn't, the quality doesn't seem to be there. So let's make some, you know, I got some soup. Let's make some soup. I'm going to teach you a recipe. This is passed down from my mom and her mother before her. You might want to take notes. Did you get that? Now what we're going to do is microwave it for 3 minutes. I forgot to mention, this is chicken and sausage gumbo. That's a fancy recipe. Boy, you know, I have a touch, not a touch, I got a hard whacking of the old ADHD stick, and I've got that baby monitor right there, and every time a snowflake goes by and it goes, it does a little thing, and then it gets in the corner of my eye, and I go, whoa, what's up? You know, I don't really know what to say. I don't really, no offense to anybody that does it, but I always think that shtick of you know, like the first bite is for you and all that stuff. It's a little silly. But here's what I will say. I would like to make a toast. Here's a toast to 2025. A toast to a new year with all kinds of new adventure and new excitement. You know, I did this a similar, not a similar style camp, but under similar conditions camp a year ago, and it was a miserable failure. And I mean, now, you know, like I said, my feet are cold. I think if I were going to do this again, I'd wear better socks. I'm just literally wearing like the worst possible socks you could wear, and tennis shoes. I might wear something a little bit more warm on my feet, but you know, the van, she's doing good. Old Happy is staying happy. We're able to cook a meal, went and got some coffee. I'm charging stuff. I've got my tablet to watch stuff. I've got more battery power than I could possibly use. I got heated blankets lined up. I mean, I just got you know, all this stuff. So let's eat the soup, and then I want to talk to you about some changes in my life in 2025. So here's to you, and here's to us. Many adventures together in the future. Here's the Big Rob's van. You doing all right? Chicken and sausage. I need about 1 more minute in the microwave. Made a happy bowl. That's pretty good soup. That's some cold wind. Well, as you can hear, the wind is howling, and this electric blanket is really doing its job. I think I mentioned earlier, but it has 2 settings, a low and a high setting, and on the low setting, it's pulling about 48 watts, and on the high setting, it's pulling about 60, so I should have plenty of battery to last me through the night. Again, I know I already mentioned I have the my Fakery battery, and then I have my big boy battery. So anyway, what I want to talk to you about on this episode is the change that my wife and I are making for 2025. And this is not the type of thing where I'm like, I'm saying that you make this change. It's not one of those deals at all. This is not like a pitch to get you on a program or something. I'm telling you what we are doing. So my wife found out, we actually read a book that a friend of ours wrote called The Year Without a Purchase. And so apparently a lot of people, that has been, there's a catchphrase for that now called a no-buy year. Now, that does not mean what it sounds like. First of all, you buy plenty of stuff throughout the year. And second of all, we're not doing it for a year. So a no-buy year for us means buy a few things, and we're only doing it for a month so far. But we're doing this for January, and if it works out for January, we're going to try to continue throughout the rest of the year. So, what is a no-buy year? A no-buy year is essentially where you set aside a year, you commit to a year, and you make very specific rules about what you will and you won't buy. Now, this is not a one-size-fits-all thing for everyone, and what you have to do is decide, first off, right up front, you have to decide why you're doing it. Because depending on why you're doing it, there may be different exceptions for your purchases. For example, if you are doing it because you're in a van and you are on a limited income, then you might want to try a no-buy year for financial reasons. So you'll be spending less throughout the year. That's a reason to do it. But another reason some people do it is because they have too much clutter in their lives. And so the exceptions that you set for yourself, the rules, the boundaries to operate within would be different if it's about bringing things into the house. And an example of that we've already found out is what happens if someone gives you a gift. Well, if you're doing it for financial reasons, a gift is free and that'd be fine. But if you're doing it because you don't want to bring more clutter into your house or into your life, then you might not want to accept free gifts. But anyway, the goal for us, we need to really sit down and kind of firmly decide why we're doing it, because we're doing it a little for this, a little for that. It's mostly for clutter reasons, but obviously you'll save a lot of money by doing a no-buy year. So we've only committed to this for January so far. So it all comes down to setting these boundaries. So for us, obviously, everybody has, even when you say there's a no buy year, if you have a house, you have a mortgage, you may have a car payment, you may have utilities, you have to buy food, we have to eat, we have to have gasoline. So those things are all things that we know we're going to spend money on for the year. And what the no buy year is, and again, this is different for each person, but what that entails is, what are you not going to spend money on? And you got to be real specific about that. So our rules that we have set for January is we're not going to buy anything, any physical thing, basically, that comes into our house that's not a necessary item. So we're not going to buy anything off of Amazon. We're not going to be shopping on eBay. No thrift stores, no garage sales, no antique malls, all those things that I really really enjoy doing. We're not going to be doing any of that, at least for January. And then at the end of January, we'll look and see how things went, and then we'll course correct. The other thing we're not going to do in January is we're not going to go to casinos. Now, we're not big gamblers, but we have found that now that our kids have moved out, casinos are a fun place to go and kill some time. But they're also an expensive place to go and kill some time. We always think that we did better than we really do, because you tend to remember the times that you won and you forget the times that you lose. So we're not going to go to any casinos for the month of January, at least. So like I said, at the end of January, we're going to take a look at it and see how it goes from there. So I'll probably be talking more about this on my personal blog, which is robohare.com, if you want to check that out and follow out a little bit more. That's kind of a little bit outside the scope of Big Rob's Van, but for the immediate future, I'm going to stop buying things for the van. Now, does that mean I'm going to stop doing things in the van? Absolutely not. What that means is I'm going to spend less time buying all of these things that I've been buying off of Amazon and Temu and things like that, and spend a little bit more time enjoying those things. I have a van full of gadgets back home. I have a garage full of gadgets. I have all the things that I need to go out and camp and go on these adventures and have a good time. I don't need to keep buying stuff. Now, if there's something I run into later on down the road that I actually need for the van, then we'll discuss that. But for right now, I have everything I need. So that's my goal for January, is to go out, and I'm hoping to camp every weekend, at least, maybe more, throughout January, and enjoy the things that I have. So that's my goal for, like I said, for January. For our no buy year is really a limited buy month. It's a little bit of false advertising with the term, but that's our goal. So anyway, as you could hear, the wind was howling through the back windows. It is cold tonight. It continues to drop. And so what I'm going to do is cut the video off here. I'm going to spread out my sleeping bag. I'm going to get my stuff set up, and I'm going to cram this electric blanket hopefully down in the sleeping bag and get stuff set up for the night. So this video will be continued. I'll be hitting the road and going from here on some more adventures. So I don't have my stuff set up to do the drawing, but I should be home. I'll definitely be home by Sunday. So Sunday, maybe I'll do a live video stream. You don't have to be on the live stream. I'm not going to do that, because what I said was, if you commented on the New Year's Eve video, that's how you enter. So if you like that video and you leave a comment, that's how I'll be picking the entries to win that smart screen display that I showed. So make sure that you like that video, and Sunday night when I get back, I'll do that random pick, and then I'll contact whoever the winner was. So I think that's it. The cold is affecting my batteries. I didn't expect that this much. It's running this battery down. It's running my GoPro batteries down. I've already had to recharge once, and they're almost out again. So I think what I'm going to do is get bundled up and I will see you guys here next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for getting me over that 1,000 subscriber limit. You guys are awesome. Thanks to my patrons who are supporting me on these silly adventures. I love you guys, and I will see you here. For me, it'll be tomorrow, but for you, it'll be next time on Big Rob's Van. Bye, everybody.